want to hear this Ajana, deity worship. Ajana, bhajan, or position of devotee, gradations of Ajana. Now there are different levels of worshipping the deities, the Murti. Srila Siddhadev Goswami Maharaj is explaining this. Ajana is especially meant for Vaikuntha, not for Goloka. Ramanuja Sampradaya, in the Ramanuja Sampradaya, Arjuna holds an important position. But in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, Seva and Bhajan are more important. Arjuna has been explained to be of a lower status. So Arjuna means following the rules and regulations according to the Shastras, according to the mode of goodness. And it is called Vidhi Bhakti or Vaini Bhakti, following the regulations, changing the mantras properly. Especially this we find in South India. Ramanuja Acharya, in his line there, this Arjuna is celebrated very nicely, very beautiful. They have big festivals there. Getting the deities and the street, and they make on a big cart, and they are going to the making then visible to all, to the public, in a very opulent way. So this is Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha means it's more opulent. The worship is not so confidential. It is Vaikuntha standard. It is the worship of Narayan, Lakshmi Narayan. So Gaudiya Sampradaya, on the other side, Seva and Bhajana is more important. So Arjuna has been explained to be of a lower status because the worship in the Gaudiya line is more confidential. It is Bhajan. We will see, we will hear this here. Ajaryam eva haraye Ujam yashadha yehati nadat bhakteshu janeshu sabhakta bhagiti smitaha. This is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. A devotee who faithfully worships the deity but does not properly respect the Vaishnavas or the people in general is called a materialistic devotee and is considered to be in the lowest position of devotional service. So this is a beginning or materialistic approach of Supreme Lord, they do not see that the Lord is sitting in the heart of all living beings. They only see when the curtain is open, then they bow down. Otherwise, Krishna is not here. When open and when closed, they bow down. So it means only when we can see him, then he is here. But this is what we are seeing is not the Lord, it is his external manifestation. Materialistic devotees like on this level. It is the beginning level, Vaidhi Bhakti. Or those devotees are called also Kanishta, Adhikari, beginning materialistic devotee. Because they're not able, they have not the eyes to see the Lord in the heart of all living beings. He is everywhere. There's no space, no nothing where he is not exist, where he is not. This is the highest devotees, they can see him everywhere. He is always present to them. But that's because they are not depending on the opening of the door. Oh, now I can see him. The next level is, oh, he can see me. This is a higher level. We take the position not of the subject, and he is our object. We take it, or those, the Madhyam state, middle state, they take, he is the subject. He can see me, but I see only stone, a nice clothes, nice everything. This is materialistic understanding, or lower understanding. So Arjun means trial. Before the actual fight, there's sometimes a mock fight, an air show. When the planes of the Air Force show some posing of fighting. So Arjuna is something like that. It is preparation for the real service. So that is a level where we get trained up for the real service. It is like, we call it in the boxing, it is air boxing. You know, when they are training, they boxing against, see them in the mirror and the box, like they train themselves. So Arjuna means also something similar to this. It is not the real service because we are not fit. We are our external senses, our eyes, our external senses trying to understand or conduct the other world. But this is not possible. He is not of concrete nature. He can enter the form of the Lord. In a Shalagram Shila, he is there. In the Gopatam Shila, he is there. And in the form of the Lord, in the ayah made of wood or made of stone, or even painted, he can be there, but he can, only if a pure devotee, he can see him in this way. Otherwise, we see only the external form. external manifestation for us because we are living in the material world. We have not the eyes to see. But because we are not fully matured in devotion, we cannot see the Lord in the deity. We do not see him fully there. It is a mere appearance. Arjuna is practice for when we come in connection with the real thing. It will be helpful for us. This is the Kanishta Adhikari, materialistic devotee. So it is a beginning level. The Kanishta devotee has more reverence for the deity and not so much for the Vaishnava because he thinks he is only a man and he may have some devotion, but that is also in me. I am also worshipping the deity. So the Kanishta is not so particular about the devotees, not that Bhakti. He is more accustomed to deal with the material aspect of things. The Bhakta Prakita Smita. But the Madhyam Adhikari makes friendship with the devotee. Yeah, Madhyam means the middle stage. There are 3 stages. Madhyam Adhikari, that's Kanishta, Madhyam, and Uttam Adhikari. Ishvara tattva bhigeshu bile palisheshu vishatsaja prema maitri ki prakshana karoti cha madhyama Bhagavatam. A Madhyam Adhikari is one who loves the Supreme Lord, is friendly towards his devotees, shows mercy towards those who are ignorant of the process of devotion, and rejects those who are envious of the Lord and his devotees. This is a shloka from Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. So he will show kindness to ordinary masses by talking about the Lord. He will be indifferent to those who are unfriendly to him. So he will be neutral, he will keep distance. He has particular care for the devotee, where there is the living presence of the Lord. So he can understand that the Lord is not some dead matter. He is a person, and he is staying in the heart of every living being. So he is dealing with the devotees like this, seeing the Lord presence in every living being. Is this so? His attention is not so acute for the deity, but he finds more valuable representation in the heart of a devotee. Because the deity or Krishna will not manifest before materialistic persons so easily. But in the pure devotees, he is valuable. But we find more valuable representation in the heart of a devotee. So there you can experience Krishna, or you can get an idea more close. When one is able to appreciate that, he will come to the middle stage, middle class stage, means Madhyam Adhikari. But in the higher conception, one will leave Arjuna and serve a devotee. is Uttama Adhikari. Uttama Adhikari means he sees himself in the lowest position. So he will not, if he is not qualified to perform arjan, perform the deity worship, or he sees the Lord in every devotee in his heart, and he thinks they are all worthy to that I worship, I am serving them. So the presence of the Lord is more real in the heart of a devotee. He is in a more conscious form. For those that cannot understand and are bound by sense experience, the Lord takes the form of the deity for them. But for those who can catch his spiritual existence, it will be more beneficial to serve a devotee than to serve the deity. This kind of deity is now we read yesterday is different kind of worship of the deity, because he is communicating with the Lord. The Lord is communicating with him. He speaks to him. He says, "You put more salt in the chapati you offer me. You put no salt, and you put also ghee." And Nathan thought, where should I get ghee from? I have no salt. I am a beggar living in Vrindavan and not able to support you. There's also one saying. He said, today you want salt, tomorrow you want that I serve you sweet rice. But I have no milk, I have no sweet, no sugar. I cannot do this. Like this is the exchange that comes. He is not dealing with a stone or a form. He's dealing with the Lord. He's speaking to him, and the Lord speaking with the devotee. This is a very high level, and not rarely attained. So this was this part you wanted to. Yes. Yeah, there was nobody here. And we are reading this part, hearing this part. Is there any question to this, or you want to hear more detail in this things about this sadhana? Or what is the position of a devotee, of a bhakti, bhakta? Everything clear? Too clear? Or not clear? And Srila Maharaj speaks the one story from the Bhagavatam. There's one incident mentioned in Bhagavatam about Gajendra. There was a king in South India who was engaged in worshipping his family deity. At that time, the great devotee Maharishi Agastya came to his place as a guest. The king was informed by a servant, but the king thought, I'm busy serving my deity. I should not leave this and go and receive Agastya. Agastya was a devotee and a yogi of the highest type. If he become displeased, then he could do much mischief to the kingdom. Knowing this, the king made a show that he had not heard, and after finishing the worship, he came and inquired and made arrangements for the rishi. But because he had pretended not to hear about the arrival of a Vaishnava, as he was so deeply engaged in worship, he committed an offense against Agastya. And in his next life, he took birth as an elephant. So that at this time, they had a great power, these bhaktas or yogis. They were very powerful personalities. So because of this offense that he did not receive him properly, because usually we have to understand, when a pure devotee is coming to visit temple, it will not happen here so often. Don't worry. We are doing deity worship. What is more important, to worship the deity on the altar or to receive the great saint or sadhu? So, according to Shastra, we should stop the worship and we should receive the pure devotee. This is the rule. So, but he did not follow this. He pretended, oh, I is here, but I will not stop my puja now. Doing. So he could not understand this point, that he carries Krishna more, is more manifested in his heart than he is manifested on the altar, because he manifests, the Lord manifests according to the devotion and the realization of the devotee. So he is more manifested in the heart of this Agastya Muni. He is carrying him very powerful. So in this way he did an offense, and Agastya in his next life took birth as an elephant because of this. An elephant by nature is very slow at reacting. It's called Saptipudi. So because the king took his time to take care of the sage, he received the body of an elephant. When there was a fight between that elephant and the crocodile, the elephant became tired and couldn't fight and took the name of Krishna. My Lord, save me. Of course, don't sing now in a materialistic way. He could speak, God save me. But still, this king, he was in the body of an elephant. He cried out, my Lord, help me in it. That temperament came because he was a devotee internally, and so he was saved. His birth as an elephant came only to do his offense of disregarding the devotee on the plea of his own engagement with the deity. He took the Vaishnava as an ordinary man and the deity as God himself. he should have left the worship of the deity and received the devotee. The dictation of the Shastra is that if we are engaged in worshiping the deity and we hear that Gurudev or Vaishnava of higher order has come, we should take permission of the deity and go and attend the devotee. Then we should come later and finish the worship. We must make some arrangement. This is not a man who has come. There's also the expression of the Lord in him. The Lord is present in the deity. But the Lord is also present in the heart of the devotee. That is a higher conception. God's existence in his heart is more important than in the deity. We have to respect that first. That's because in India, it's usually when you see a sadhu, we take his foot dust or they beg for his blessings. They are more, it is more powerful than to pray or to go to the deity because our vision, he will not manifest. Because we are not on this level to see him pop out or to, he is not communicating with us. When I first came to Gaudiya in Kolkata, I saw that in the rented house, the deity of Mahaprabhu was installed in a room facing the street on the ground floor. And Guru Maharaj was living in a room on the first floor. First, I asked one brahmachari, is the deity of Mahaprabhu made from wood or something else? So he got excited and told, what are you saying? He's Sakshat Mahaprabhu. He is Mahaprabhu himself. Don't take the deity to be made from wood, earth, or a mundane element. Mahaprabhu himself is there. So this devotee, it seems it was quite advanced. So he is not made of wood or made of stone or made of metal. It is not, this is not the Lord. This is just his external, because we need with our eyes to experience it. Otherwise, we cannot see. Those for beginners, he manifests. But he enters this body. And the pure devotee, when there's installation of the deities, the pure devotee calls him. Please, you receive the service of the devotees. So this form, but he is not this stone, this form external. He is inside, he can be inside. And when offenses are done, when worship is not proper done, then he leaves. Then we worship only stone. And we cannot do offense. And he is not here, even if he's standing a beautiful form of stone, but he is not here. The more dangerous is it if you worship Shalagram Shila. Shalagram Shila, in the Shila, there the Lord manifests. There's a long story why he worshipped, why he took the form of this stone. So he is always there. When you make mistake, you're a beginner. You can harm, you can make big offenses. And as the Shastra is stated, you can kill your whole family if you make mistake in the worship of Shalagam Shila. So it is it is not meant that non-brahmanas or offensive people are worshipping this form of the Lord. So this Brahmacharya said, he is not made of any mundane element. Mahaprabhu himself is there. And I put another question. All right, I said, who is considered greater, Mahaprabhu or your Gurudev? So he, Sridhar in the beginning was asking like this. If you're staying by the side of Mahaprabhu, who is directly here? He is staying on the first floor in another room, and Mahaprabhu is left here on the ground floor, near the road. The deity is on the ground floor, and the Guru is above in a safe position. What is the reason? So he challenging the Brahmacharya like this. Here his naughty question, that Brahmacharya was a little calm and tried to make me understand that Guru Maharaj was also close to Mahaprabhu there. In his heart there is Mahaprabhu. Here also in the temple is the deity of Mahaprabhu. There also in his room, Guru Maharaj is living close to Mahaprabhu. But the Mahaprabhu within his heart is superior to the Mahaprabhu here in the temple. That is the highest expression. I could not understand so much, but still I thought that, yes, there must be some reality in his argument. So I was silent. Afterwards I came to understand that Mahaprabhu is in the heart of the devotee and also in the deity. But the higher expression is found in the heart of a devotee than in the deity. So he is active in the devotee and passive in the deity. Tumhara hridaya sada Govinda Vishram, Govinda kahe namo Vaishnava param. Your heart is always the resting place of Govinda, and Govinda says, the devotees are always in my heart. This is upon the prayers written by Narottama Das Thakur in the Pradhana. So the other we have heard yesterday. Any question? Not deity worship. Or any comments? Could you follow? Anyway, this is teachings of a higher understanding. It is not usually so when this will be seen in YouTube, there will be never many who hear this, because this is not, it is not so easy, and they will also not understand properly. But some devotees, they will relish it. And those who can understand or relish it, they will definitely make big advancement in their understanding of the Lord. Who is the Lord? What is how I can see Him, how I can connect myself with Him, how can I become immortal. How can I become happy? But in Kali Yuga, this is very difficult. You will not easily accept. So Kali Yuga is now teaching us. It makes material life very painful. According to my youth, it was everything very simple. We had nothing to play with. This, how I call this, PlayStation or something. Because we were playing with with tricks and from nature giving things. And we were doing simple. But it was a very happy time. Nowadays, you see, even in young age, 13, 14, 15, they are starting killing each other. What horror. What a day. And they call it advancement. They are, it is terrible, Kali Yuga. They cannot understand anything. Because they're living in hell. But they have not realized. But you're all young. Except some of us getting a little older. We have experienced a world without this kind of contamination. Your mind is full of horror, getting information. And the whole day we're looking. And our mind is full of all these horror things. And we become, we are not anymore humans. We behave like animals. Not even like animals. Animals, they eat and they kill for their maintenance. But they kill. Humans are much worse. They're killing for their sense enjoyment. When they get angry or whatever, frustrated. So they are harming so much. This Kali Yuga now, it is said it will come to an end, and it will come. Because they will destroy everything with their limited understanding. They think they can change the world, they can change the nature. But nature is always more strong. Muni, Mother Earth, how you will destroy her? She will destroy you. All these things, becoming more and more aggressive, more and more becoming like machines, everyone. There's no human feeling or relations anymore. Only profit, name, fame, profit. And for this we are doing everything. This is hell. I am imagining hell is like this. It is described in the Shastra also, in the fifth kanda of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hellish world. Still we think we live in the best age. It will become worse, you will see. It goes always like this, up and down, up and down. No. We cannot see the plan of the Lord for him. He will purify. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanya bhagavat. In the Bhagavad Gita he says, whenever irreligion, demoniac mentality taking over, I will appear in different forms. So I will destroy them. I will again install the proper understanding. Shataguna, purity. Sila Siddha Maharaj, Talila Pavistam, Nishtupad, Paramahamsa, Vicharya, Stota, Sasi, Srimad, Bhakti, Bhakti, Akshakshida Dev Goswami Maharaj, Gita. Sila Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pavistam, Nishtupad, Paramahamsa, Vicharya, Stota, Sasi, Srimad, Bhakti, Vaibhava Puri Goswami Maharaj, Gita. Nitai Gura Premanandi, Manchakalpa